second. Let me open up a couple other pages so I can see you beautiful people. It's bright, the sun shiny Thursday. As we arrive in here, we will see if we'll see if Chip can make a visit. I think he can. I'm pretty sure he can. There we are. Hi everybody, welcome. Good to see you. Turn that down. Music down. A little bit of old DJ. Bring it down. Come on now. Hi. Happy Hump Day. I'm sorry I'm running a little late today. Just a little morning stuff around the house. We, after long last, we have a grill in the backyard that's now built into these concrete blocks and finally works. So I'm giving my old one to a neighbor. So I have to, I was going to try and do it before the show. It's going to take a little, I got to clean it up. I can't hand it off to him that way. So yeah. Hey, see, CSL, we're just in sync, brother. We just are. Automatically. It's just how it works. Hi. You had 2 cups of sipping chocolate already. Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. They had, for a time, Sishui, they had sipping chocolate at Starbucks. Remember that? They were doing like dark chocolate, drinking chocolate shots. It was fantastic, and I got it many, many times and enjoyed it quite thoroughly. And then, clean that sink, please. Yes, I will. How are y'all full on vegetarians over there? We're not. We're not. Summer's a pescatarian. Ethan and I are both omnivores. Camden is a flexitarian at this point. Who else is sipping urine? Yes, I have. I ran mine through a special filter I got from the Kevin Costner collection. I feel healthier already. That's it's, it takes out most of the urea, the color itself, but the bite is still there, and that's the important thing. Yeah. Was pescatarian 8 years since, vegan since, yeah. You have to, let's see, you need to start a band called Hal's Halibuts. Extra T, literally, hilarity. I like it. It is a tremendous amount of ice. That is true. I'm heavy on ice this morning. Light on beverage. It's true. And I've got morning voice, which I feel like this is one of the reasons why morning DJs back in the day used to have deep and sultry voices, largely had to do with the hour they were on. By the afternoon, most of those guys sounded like Don Jr. Ming, 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 ming. And they had to cut through the haze, because in the morning you were sitting at home or you were in your car, and you were kind of in the environment, so the sound was better. Meanwhile, in the afternoon, you probably had a radio at the job site, and everybody was trying to hear it, so if you wanted to hear the guy's voice, it had to be ning, 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 ning. It's like why, it's sort of why banjo and fiddle caught on so well in redneck music was because of the lack of sound systems. So it's the intro, and this is true of traditional music all over the globe, and why there's a lot of overlap, kids. I know everybody wants to think that there's something special about certain tribes of people and the music they come up with. Most of the time, there's like 8 guys making some sort of a bass noise on whatever they can beat on or blow in that will make a long drone sound. And then people making the highest, tinniest, pinchiest noise they can fucking find so that it can reach more than 10 people back. Because no matter what you do, you're not going to modify ears and sine waves very much. Oh, well, let's jump right into what's trending, because there's a bunch of stuff. Harry Reid is lying in state this morning. They all came here to Vegas over the weekend for his memorial service here in Las Vegas at Harry Reid International Airport, which is now Harry Reid International Airport instead of McCarran, which is in the age of Karen. A McDonald's Karen crossover just seems like the rudest eating experience you could possibly have. So I think it's smart that they, went that way. What a moron is tweeting. What do we think? Don Jr. I want to say Ted Cruz. What is it? Rand Paul. Okay, that works. What a moron response statements made by Senator Rand Paul. Fauci it was unequivocally found true. This is so easy. And this is he called, what's his name? Roger Marshall a moron because the guy was like, I want to see your financial disclosure papers, and he's like, they're publicly available. They have to be by law. I want to see them. Well, look them up. This is the whole like, what the fuck are you talking about? I want to see how much money you're getting from that Chinese lab. Right? And then he gets called out for it, and look at his face. It's one of those, I didn't realize I fucked around and found out. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so Fauci, at the end of this...
Well, we look forward to reviewing it.
Senator Marshall,
you can hear him.
Dr. Fauci has answered you. It is public information, and he's happy to give it to you if you would ask.
Listen.
Senator Moran.
What a moron. Jesus Christ.
What a moron.
Jesus
Christ. Which is, it's publicly available stuff. And here's the thing. You're already in the Senate. I would expect this from one of these people who ramble up to a school board meeting and start screaming about how we need to see his papers or some shit. But this is the look of everyone in that room, including Roger Marshall, as he pretends that he shrugs off the fact that he's a dumbass. You're a senator. You're a sitting senator. You have an entire staff paid for by the taxpayer to help you ready your questions and prepare yourself for this. And this was your zinger. And ultimately, yeah, you're so misinformed, it's extraordinary. What are you talking about? Like, at a certain point, that's all you got. Oh, and this is how much he makes a year. Like, he's the highest paid bureaucrat in the government. Like, yeah, because of seniority, and he's good at his fucking job. Imagine how good he would have been at his job if he hadn't been hamstrung for 2 years leading up to this thing. If every possible precaution hadn't been thrown to the wind. Yeah, meanwhile. So, what a moron is trending because of him. Kristen Jones trying their hardest to lose the House and Senate in 2022. Yeah, whatever. Ted Cruz, Biden's race has to fess up about whether the FBI actively encouraged and solicited illegal. Okay, this is an ongoing thing, and how can you make the case that your side of the aisle is so gullible and stupid that all somebody has to do is stand on the Capitals and say, and yell, get them, and your side will, I mean, of course you're going to storm up there and beat cops and take a shit in the Capitol and try to sell a laptop from Nancy Pelosi's office to the Russians. I mean, all you need is a little encouragement. What kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? Like, how is that a brag or an excuse at all? Yeah, it's basically them announcing that they are sheep. What you have to understand, Sean, is that Republicans have been trained over the last 4 years to basically follow any dumbass that's standing in front of them that tells them to do the most awful thing you can think of. And that is the kind of thing. Somebody actually told me to grow a beard. I thought it was a good idea. See what happened? Seriously, how do you sell that? You don't understand, Sean. Trump's most avid supporters are gullible assholes who will attack their own nation's capital at the slightest urging by Antifa and FBI agents. And there's no point. This goes along with the whole, like, bring Nancy Pelosi down here. Why wasn't there the National Guard? Which is also like just a tacit admission that, holy fuck, who couldn't have spotted there wouldn't be a violent attack on the Capitol when a bunch of Trumpers gathered in the... Who wouldn't have known that that was going to go south? What opinion must these assholes have of their voters? Right? What must you think of all these folks to think, well, you know, of course, MAGA is all about any voice of authority telling you to do whatever awful they want you to do, and you just fucking do it. You know, for America. And then the other one, now at the same time, they're gullible enough that if they're standing on the Capitol steps and they, some FBI agent or Antifa dude is, well, they were storming in the place. I thought that's what we were supposed to do. Like, there was no point that would click in and go, holy fuck, I am attacking my own Capitol. This is unpatriotic. Like, that's just never an option. Right? That's not going to occur to you in that moment. Oh, Crystal, I was going to bring that up too. The whole 75% of COVID deaths had 4 comorbidity story. That is going to be the dominant lie about COVID in the Republican Party right now, all over right-wing media. That's going to go on. Even though it's like ferocious nonsense, it won't matter. It will not matter. They're drinking their own pee. I know that, Fish Delight. I will say for the record, though, that I knew someone years ago in the 90s who had chronic health problems, and she went down to Mexico and to this place where they filtered and you drank your own pee for autoimmune disorders. And I'm surprised it took them this long to find it. I don't know that it was helpful, but it's not like they invented it. As a matter of fact, they're just going to go through what have they done? Hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, Viagra, drinking your own urine. I mean, they're basically going to go through everything but get vaccinated. Yeah, exactly. 75% of 36 people had 4 comorbidities or more. We've dealt with this shit before. Ugh. Yeah, I still... It is still just, like, oddly... I don't know why they don't know this is a massive self-own. To just go, yeah, what do you expect us to do? Of course, if somebody waves us up the steps, we're going to start beating a cop. How it's like the movie The Running Man, we have to get control of the Fox News feed. Well, the Fox News feed, interestingly enough, has sort of jumped the shark, but for like Tucker and a couple others right now, they just wink and nod at it. They think it's kind of a big joke at this point. But Newsmax and OAN are kind of all in on this shit. There's somebody, I want to see this, and Dinesh D'Souza, this is so funny. I saw this morning. This, Dinesh D'Souza tweeted, "We finally have answers regarding Betty White's death. This is a fake tweet. I never tweeted this," was his response. And here's the actual tweet. "We finally have answers regarding Betty White's death. You have to delete this tweet before announcing that it's fake, Einstein." He's just so friggin' dumb. There's the top of it. And again, if you're going to believe Dinesh D'Souza, I suppose, it's conceivable that, some Antifa dude, in MAGA makeup could convince you to attack a cop because you're just that deluded. Oh God, so stupid. Yeah, and it's still up. Like the tweet is still up. And he uses Hootsuite too. So he programs this shit. He uses all right, I used to have a subscription to Hootsuite and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna enter some of my tweets and put jokes in and stuff like that. And then life went crazy. And so everything had to be, moment to moment. All of the Trump years, it was like, you can't put something in. The whole story is going to be different in an hour. The world is going to just flip on its head. It's so, yeah. Anyways, like just Captain Stupid, that dude. Meanwhile, Pop Sugar, that's promoted. Romney trending with Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins. What? One Republican senator's reaction to the speech. So much for unifying the country, working across the aisle on the speech regarding the Senate. What? Oh, Mitt Romney just attacked Biden for his voting rights speech. He's no friend of mine. Okay, whatever. Mike Rounce speaks truth, knowing that our Republican depends on it. Republicans like Hutchinson, Bush and Cheney plus 60 courts, even the right-leaning Wall Street Journal. Joe Biden won the election. Right, there you go. And I love how people are like, he's the enemy of democracy, blah, 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 and then he tweets this out or whatever. Like, can we speak in, like, he's an asshole. Yes. But there's gradations. If you're just gonna slathering black and white in two directions, eventually you're gonna get it on yourself, and you're not gonna know who anybody is, right? And this man to start working with a perfect. I know the Trump is. Yeah, they can, but that's not enough votes to overturn a filibuster. The three of them aren't gonna do anything. You need 60. Hal, check on Mike Pillow. Looks like he probably either has COVID or is in hiding. All right. Well, that wouldn't be surprising. He keeps going to these fucking events. Fucking moron. Why do and we we're constantly having to feel sorry for these fucking folks? Like okay. Is it her birthday? Is she okay? Okay? Angelina grocery run with daughter. Oh yeah, she gets to go out in a mask. That's how they follow her around. Harry Styles, Angelina, the Eternals. Oh, good Lord. That's just Eternals, I think, is on Disney Plus or something. So they're trying a different. It didn't sell well, so they're trying a different take on it, which is the behind the scenes stuff. There used to be a thing. I don't know if you guys know this. If you ever saw a behind the scenes special appear on HBO before a movie came out in the 90s and the early aughts, you knew the movie sucked. Just count on it. Like you're like, all right, they're trying to get me to feel bad for the cast and crew that they worked really hard. Right? That's what those are about. Look how hard they worked on this. It's not very good, and you probably won't like it. And if you see it without the context of it's a job and people tried, you might have a chip on your shoulder about it or not want to see it. So we're going to show you this 45-minute special on how hard everybody worked, and then you'll go see it. If it came out afterwards, they're trying to get you to buy the DVD because we know you loved it and you probably saw it twice. Now buy the whole, buy the whole package because we shot all this shit just in case it sucked. Because they also do that. All the behind the scenes stuff that they started shooting was cover your ass footage. Get a bunch of B-roll of production in case the movie sucks, turns out bad. We can run one of these things on HBO beforehand all the time. You remember that? So let's see, Jennifer Hudson. How long can I keep using the same N95 respirator mask? One workday, 2 days. You gross person. Jamie Lynn, actress, is set to appear on Good Morning America on Wednesday to promote her new book. Oh, good for her. Trending with Brittany. That's good. All right. Howard Stern on Tuesday episodes. You criticized Novak Jovic about it following his. Okay, whatever. 40 years of murdered couples finally identified. Where's their missing baby? Oy. Oh, here you go. Breaking. Prices paid by U.S. consumers jumped 7% in December from a year earlier. I love that shit. From a year over year. The highest inflation rate since 1982. It's the latest evidence of rising costs for food, gas, rent, and other necessities are heightening the pressures on U.S. households. Cancel rent. This is footage from last year. Governor Hochul extend the eviction ban. Right, this is earlier. And again, we've covered this bullshit so many times. Is there inflation? Yes. Is it because of monetary policy? No. It's almost entirely related to gas and oil prices because countries that we rely on for fossil fuels and the companies in the United States that also are in that market, because we don't have nationalized oil. They sell it on the market. We get a market price even from the shit that comes out of the ground here. Have been driving the price up to make up for the negative $32 a barrel the year before. And if you take that out, it's 5.5%. Is it up 2%? Yes. But compared to what it could have been after while we're still technically in Omicron, and everybody's like, is it going to be as bad? It's 5.5% if you take out gas. And gas is up because tankers stopped. They stopped our pipeline. You mean the Canadian shale oil pipeline that didn't even bring oil anywhere yet? That didn't affect the market at all? It's market manipulation. Meanwhile, the U.S. became the world's biggest liquid natural gas exporter last week. Soared 7% in past year. I mean, we've looked at this so many fucking times. Gas prices are lower than they were in 2014. And your dollar is worth technically less because there's more in circulation, allegedly. Yeah, exactly. Joe Biden is so powerful, he screwed everything up in less than a year. Yes, he caused these. He caused our 30-year reliance on a supply chain overseas. Not Walmart. It's not Walmart's fault. It's the U.S. consumer wanting increasingly cheaper goods and going, I'd rather have cheap and disposable than, a slightly more expensive and long lasting. Oh yeah, we talked about that yesterday, Stamp and Stitch, Eric, when Hannity talked about the bunker. So, again, let's read through this, shall we? Inflation jumped. Did it jump? Because it went 0.5% in December. At its fastest pace in nearly 40 years last month. No, it did not. 0.5% is not the fastest pace in a month that it's gone over. That's just the year to year in January to December. It's not even the economic year. A 7% spike from a year earlier that is increasing household expenses. Look, would you believe from reading this? Like I said, inflation is something you have to work on, but if you're making a mountain out of every fucking molehill, first of all, you're gonna have no garden because the moles are gonna eat it and it's buried under a fake mountain. Read this sentence. Inflation jumped at its fastest pace in nearly 40 years last month, a 7% spike from a year earlier that is increasing household eating into wage gains and heaping pressure on Biden and the Federal Reserve to address what has become the biggest threat to the U.S. economy. And by the way, if a 5.5% jack up in prices after a cratering of the energy market the year before is the biggest threat to the U.S. economy, the U.S. economy is seeing no threats because the rest of the world's economies are in the exact same problem, in the exact same situation, and they're kind of fucked. We're not. All right. Prices have risen sharply for cars, gas, food, and furniture as part of a rapid recovery. I'm sorry, what? As part of a rapid recovery. Why U.S. inflation is so high and when it may ease. Now inflation is flashing red for the Federal Reserve Policy, delivering sticker shock for Americans. On Wednesday, the Labor Department reported that consumer prices jumped 7% in December compared with 12 months earlier. The hottest year-over-year inflation. There you go. Look at that. In the other article, just bury it. Fuck it. The hottest year-over-year inflation since June 1982. Remember the great pandemic of 1981? Me neither. That was caused by economic forces, decisions, and it was before cell phones, before most households had computers, before you could ever even conceive of having an E-Trade account, much less a Robinhood account, excluding volatile energy and food prices, which, by the way, the food prices are only the ones that have to be tracked because of energy prices. What is called core inflation rose 5.5%. Over the past year, the fastest pace since 1991. Gee, it's almost like every decade these guys fuck around and find out. Also, anybody remember 1990s giant pandemic? Remember the pandemic of 1990? Me neither. That's the problem I have with this. We're pretending 2020 didn't fucking exist. We're pretending that 2020 wasn't extraordinarily fucked up. Jesus. Bacon prices are up 19% from a year ago. Men's coats and suits are nearly 11%. At the beginning of this article, you'd think we were standing in fucking bread lines. Men's coats and suits. Living and dining room furniture is up more than 17% because of shipping container costs. Because they come from other countries. And because there are fewer vehicles, because there's smaller crews, or they have to stop ships because of COVID, and we limit the number of them that have gotten in, and then there was a backup, and then they arranged it, and the cost of a shipping container went up, and fuck, these people who run furniture stores are like, I got this shit sitting here now, and it cost me almost 20% more, but I can't jack the price up that much, so fuck, I'll raise it 70% retail over the 20% wholesale price that went up. Renting a car will cost you 36% more on average than it did in December 2020. Oh, you mean in December 2020 when Hertz's stock price was like $1? What the fuck was... Hold on. I remember everybody was saying like rental car companies are screwed. Remember that? Hold on. I don't even know what it was. Let's Hertz stock. Okay, 5 year. November. Let's see, November 2019. Where the fuck? What? How am I putting this on the 5 year and it's only giving me this thing? What's happening? Okay. Okay, maybe this is just fuck. I'm gonna reload. Year to date. January 4th. Monday, January 3rd. There we go. After the thing, 1 year. Here you go. Okay, this chart is terrible. Hold on. Hertz stock 2020. Yeah. Here you go. Hold on. Get out of here. Oh, you rat. Here you go. Ebb and tide. This I can't open the article because it asks for a subscription. Bloomberg. As Hertz exits bankruptcy, Reddit crowd pockets a big score. Ebb tide came in May 26, 2020, just after the start of the Hertz bankruptcy case, when the shares changed hands for as little as 40 cents. The entire rental car industry was collapsing. No one was going anywhere. They didn't even find any tacit support because they weren't considered like valuable. They didn't have enough workers to save. And now, let's see. You're the meme stock. Hertz Kodak topped the list of. Oh, you fuckers! Bloomberg all over the place. Now I'm gonna have to get a subscription to this stupid shit. All right. Finance, Yahoo, here you go. Now it's trading at $24.58. Like they're just making, they've got investment money. By the way, and this is just one of the rental car companies. You go from, your stock is worth 40 cents. Your entire company, all your employees, all that stuff, the only place you pull from is investor funds, 40 fucking cents. And then, Hertz Electric. Okay, here we go. Let's try to find. Here we go. Just months after bankruptcy. So they weathered that. They are now buying 100,000 Teslas for a new electric fleet. Company was effectively dead because of 2020. And they are, what's money going towards? And this is not, I'm not selling you Hertz stock or anything like that. But pay attention. This is shades of 2009. This is the same shit we went through with, when Bush left the economy in dregs, and the Obama-Biden administration had to come in and salvage every fucking thing. Shares of Tesla surged on Monday, with the Hertz deal expected to net the electric car more than $4 billion. They're not just throwing money at them. And they're setting up charging stations. So because Hertz will have 100,000 cars, let's see. Here it is. Hertz deal isn't just the tipping point for Tesla and EVs, but car rentals in the climate change era. The rental car industry major players have not made major commitments to electric vehicles as part of their fleets to date. Hertz deal with Tesla will pressure its competitors like Avis Enterprise Holdings to be more seriously consider adoption. Enterprise tells CNBC it is planning to transition its fleet over the coming years, but the focus is not simply adding numbers. It means it wants to cull old cars, replace them with new ones, which is what you would do, because there's a certain amount of pollution in just wrecking cars currently. And then there's let's see. Hertz just made the biggest electric vehicle purchase ever. Now, again, this is one of those things. Do you want cheap rentals? Really cheap? Do you want them, exorbitantly cheap, if not industry pressuring cheap? Or do you want to pay 36% more, God knows what, for what? I don't know what the current car rate is. Car rental prices year over year. It'll probably bring up another article that says that quotes this. Price inflation for car truck rental since 1997. The last one, look at this. Here's 48%. After this, it still went up last year, 0.66% in the rental prices. Hold on. This is the spike. There it is. Boing! See all that money we didn't make? Yeah. Buying power of $20 since 1997. There you go. So this is, your dollar's worth less. That's the idea too. But the calculation of buying a car for trunk power, equivalent buying power for car and trunk rental over time for $20 beginning in 1997. In 2020, it was 0.66%. A change of 20. There's like $25, $25, $25, $25. It's $13 more. Because no one rented. Even though this was the going price, no one rented. CPI, the plug-in historical rate, CPI got over $100 a year. 190 divided by 100, $38. Times 20. Yeah, there we go. Therefore, according to U.S. $20.97 has the same purchasing power as $38 in 2021 in the car and truck rental area. That's how they determine it. Plug in historical CPI values from above. The CPI for car and truck rentals was $100 in the year 1997 and $190 in 2021. Therefore, $38. Of course, anybody want to rent a car from 1997? Anybody still want to? Anybody want to roll in? Where are you renting from? You're getting a car from 1997. Anyways, okay, there we go. That's this renting a car. Again, this is because people are going someplace and they didn't go anywhere. On average, than it did, on average, by the way, than it did in December 2020, when again, no one was going anywhere. Prices are increasing broadly throughout the economy, and the Federal Reserve is caught off guard by the extent of the inflation, says Chief of PNC Financial. It wasn't supposed to be this way, not with the coronavirus pandemic keeping people hunkered down at home and triggering a devastating recession beginning in March 2020. No, the recession that was triggered was actually in February. This one hit it. Barely more than a year ago, the Fed had forecasted consumer prices could end 2020 only about 1.8% higher than they were a year earlier, but even its annual 2% inflation beating its 2%, yet after being an afterthought for decades, and by the way, with gas, and like I don't know why you'd even think that. High inflation reasserted itself last year with astonishing speed. In February, Labor Department's Consumer Price Index was running just 1.7% ahead of the year earlier. In February. From there, year-over-year price increases accelerated steadily. 2.6, 4.2, 4.9, 5.3, 6.2, 6.8, and then 7. At the first, called it merely transitory. Now we've been back and forth about this. If we have to raise interest rates one more time, we will. What caused it? Let's see. We're down into the 7th tier of articles before we get to why. Much of the surge is actually a consequence of healthy economic trends. What's China locking down for? They have a zero COVID policy, and the Omicron is hit there. They're panicking over it. It's another thing. They're just using it as an excuse to lock other people down. That's another thing, too. They also have, they constantly have outbreaks there of stuff, and they don't care to look, so it could be God knows what. That's why we need a functioning CDC and NIH over here. We'll get to that in a little bit. When the pandemic paralyzed the economy in the spring of 2020 and lockdowns kicked in, businesses closed or cut hours and consumers stayed home as a health precaution. Employers slashed a breathtaking 22 million jobs. Economic output plunged at a record-shattering 31% annual rate. Last year's April to June quarter, everyone braced for more misery. Companies cut investment. Restocking was postponed. A brutal recession ensued. But year over year, guys. But it's year over year. Last year, this year, year before, 2020, 2021. What's the fucking difference, really? Year over year? Here's the problem they have. Is it because the downslope was so bad in 2020 that it artificially makes the upslope in 2021 look higher? And because the upslope was so high percentage-wise, and again, this is what happens when you fuck around with percentages and you don't give baseline numbers or compare it to the actual cost of stuff, that 2022 is going to look like one minor change in the Fed's rate is going to look like it brought inflation down to, 1.5% for the year, because year over year, compared to a year where it jacked up through the roof because of the year before when it went through the floor, is going to measure out. Oh, yes, I have to do resets. Thank you for reminding me, Pepsi. Yeah, you're watching Hal Sparks Mornings Mega Worldwide, an offshoot of Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide, which airs every day, live streaming here, wherever you're watching. That's here. And it's supported by viewers like you. I'm a one-man PBS over here. So anyway, you want to support the show, become a patron, like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, subscribe on twitch.tv/HalSparks. Don't hit the bell notification on YouTube. That's bullshit. I think that's madness. You know when I'm on. Why would I torture you like that? Why do you want your phone to blow up when I finally load all the clips from the day before because I've been slacking? You don't need that kind of hassle. Just visit when you can. We're glad to have you here. Also, we're a troll-friendly environment. We pity the trolls, and we understand they have a tough life out there, and sometimes they just need someplace to go where where they know, even though they're writing cruel, obscene, and disgusting things, it won't really hurt anyone, so they can kind of fire blanks once in a while, like they do with the misses. And so they they come on over here and go, hate. Do you like Twitch subs or Venmos more? Oh, Venmos help immensely. Obviously, Twitch takes a percentage, quite a bit, actually. So Venmo's always a great one. Thank you for reminding me to bring that up. You can just point your phone at this, and if you use Venmo at all, and you're not Matt Gaetz, you're welcome to donate whatever amount you would like to help support the show. Every day when we have 666 people in the chat, we will do a 666 drive. So you can do $6.66. If we hit 1,000, we try to do $10. But if you can't afford to do any of that shit, you're just like, oh God, I don't even, my job's coming back. Relax. I'll keep doing this. The beauty of this show is that I'm happy doing it, even when I was doing it for free for a very long time. So, worse than free. I was actually going into debt doing it because I was buying all this gear. And then having to double it up. What does YouTube take? About 30%. So, yeah, Venmo is always better. It's direct. But not everybody has Venmo, and a lot of people use the other ones, and it's a great, consistent way. And also, Super Chats and those kind of things have a secondary benefit beyond the monetary value in that they let the algorithm know you guys give a crap. So, there you go. Thanks, Wes. Your bits and subs recently for me are courtesy of this terrible Biden account. I understand. But instead of sinking into a prolonged downturn, the economy staged an unexpectedly rousing recovery, fueled by vast infusions of government aid and emergency intervention by the Fed, which slashed interest rates, among other things. By spring this year, the rollout of vaccines had emboldened consumers to return to restaurants, bars, shops, and airports. Suddenly, businesses had to scramble to meet demand. They couldn't hire fast enough to fill job openings, a near record 10.6 million in November, or buy enough supplies to meet customer orders. As businesses roared back, ports and freight yards couldn't handle the traffic. Global supply chains became snarled. It's just like... Oh, thank you, Auntie Sarah. This, it's just like 1982, isn't it? When supply chains ground to a halt because of a massive worldwide disease, or 1991 when it jumped the same way it did this year, from the 1990 snarling of the entire world economy. This is what's fucking aggravating about this. This is valuable information about what's really going on. Is it tough? Yes, but it's realistic. It's genuine. This is what's really happening. But they're fucking 3/4 of the way down the page before they even address it. Nightwish? You need me to do a review of Nightwish? I think that can be done. I can't play this stuff on here, though. Let me see if Friday I can figure out a way, because maybe I'll do like a Music Monday, and then because I don't make clips of it, if I don't monetize the stream on Mondays, I won't get demonetized. Yeah. Anyways, and by the way, this is not politics. This is economics. Just letting you know. Global supply chains, costs rose. Critics blamed in part Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package and its $1,400 checks to most households for overheating an economy that was sizzling on its own. That's what the problem is. We're giving these saps money to never mind that Delta came up afterwards. Never mind that Omicron threatened to do the same. Never mind that we hadn't gotten to the point where we had 70% people vaccinated. You can't just give people money. Not in these situations. It's not a real emergency. PGI fixed income. In retrospect, it was more than what was needed. I point a finger very strongly at the nature of fiscal policy at this time. It was not just the size of the relief package, but those direct cash payments to households added purchasing power very directly. And when you push that up against the supply disruptions because of COVID, the pressure valve was higher inflation. By the way, this is why UBI won't work. That's why UBI is a problem. That's why you can do it like a city can do it, because there's a balancing act of the markets around it. But if you did it universally, it just drives the price of everything up because the money's on the table. Nobody's going to not take it. You think, and again, I don't want anybody to talk to me about UBI as a concept unless you can get nationwide rent control passed first. You know what I mean? Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah. It's that darn 3.9% unemployment rate. How long will it last? The employers added a record 6.4 million jobs last year. Continue to splurge on everything from lawn furniture. Means that many Americans continue to splurge on everything from lawn furniture to electronics. You bastards. The American consumer is digging its own grave of inflation. How dare you? The Honda dealership said it would be $1,800. What about the preferred customer discount? He said, what would that be? I said $1,700. Done and done. There you go. Right. Well, you know such random shit. I know, Deirdre. Like the amount of stuff bouncing around. The fact that I jumped at fucking Hertz stock prices because it was a meme stock. I was watching all the meme stock news, like AMC and GameStop. Hertz was one of them, and Kodak. Remember that shit? Will you be performing in New Jersey anytime soon? I hope so. I don't know. That's I don't know. Everything's so like hit and miss as far as bookings right now. Especially when you lean on my side of the aisle, let's say politically, my audience, the right wingers or right wing favorable audiences will jam into places right now because they don't give a fuck. But folks on my side of the aisle are more tepid about going out in public and going to shows. So it's going to take a while for those audiences to come back to the size they were because people want to feel safe. So that's why I continue to live stream, some of the shows or post them and that kind of thing. A strong job market is boosting wages, though not enough to compensate for higher prices. The Labor Department says the hourly earnings for all private sector jobs fell 1.7 in November from a year earlier after accounting for higher consumer prices. But there are exceptions. After inflation, wages are up nearly 14%. After inflation, wages are up for hotel workers and restaurant employees. An enormous number of people in the workforce. 14 and 7% respectively. Over inflation. For the people who, have the biggest grind. So, anyways. Oy, God. And then they're, of course, using footage from whenever. There was the GOP coup. We're back to that. Oh, did he former president cuts NPR interview short. Oh, he hung up on NPR. Speaking of NPR, I guess we'll have to do this afternoon. I'm not watching it. We're going to have to do it this afternoon. Oh my God, that's going to be beautiful. Something to look forward to in the afternoon show, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Join me this afternoon. CSL, that saves us some running around and looking. Oh, and yeah, and Maddow talked about the forged documents yesterday on last night's show. Meanwhile, who brought those up earlier? I mean, in her defense, she is on at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so she's got to wait. She doesn't get to just hop on and slap it on the screen like I can. The NPR, I don't doubt it. I'm surprised he even called in. They didn't even get to. When do I get to show my book? It's radio, dum dum. Biden Cheney 2024. Oh, because of Liz, right? What? Oh my God. May involve following Israel exam. Oh, I see, like a mixed ticket idea. I see. New York Times is just all clickbait on their opinion page. Danny Trejo, you okay? Is he okay? Happy birthday, Danny. Yeah. Danny Trejo's taco protection. Trejo, we watched Heat in the house the other night because Ethan hadn't seen it yet. And it's interesting. Like Trejo, I mean, he's great. He's just a great actor and a great dude. But he he's got sort of a smaller part, but it's such an anchor part. You know what I mean? Like it's so natural. You know, where there's that scene on the phone where he has to drop out because they're following him, and then later on, you know, when he's been tortured essentially, and he's just laying on the floor. It's so subtle and so impressive. Trump's got hangups. Nice. That's a great name for it. CSL. Hal has Trejo hair. That's true. We all strive for Trejo hair. Although mine's a little poofier. But it's if you haven't seen Heat, it's a great movie anyways. I love Michael Mann's work, even at its, you know, silliest and most synthy sometimes. But the patience of that particular scene, the one on the floor of the apartment, I don't know if you haven't seen it, I want to ruin it for you, but it's just great. It's just so as you know, from, you know, as an actor, like watching what he does in that, there's a moment when he finds out he gets a piece of bad news. I don't like, how do I talk? I mean, it's been around for a long time. I mean, if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? But he De Niro gives him a piece of bad news. That's all I'll say. And his reaction to it is heartbreaking and so small. And it's so good. And just I don't know that people are like, oh yeah, okay, I guess he was good in that or whatever. No, I don't think people recognize how good he is in Heat. Because he and honest to God, like there's so much attention played to Pacino and De Niro in that, basically doing what they do best. I mean, they're doing their thing. Like, I mean, De Niro is straight up cold as ice, and I don't even fucking and Pacino's just arcing into his hoo-ah era. Keeps me sharp. I need it. I gotta keep it in here. Oh, bigger! Like that craziness where he's being all over the top. Meanwhile, Trejo and Val Kilmer are just like anchoring that movie. Yeah. So good. So anyways, That's enough of just Danny Trejo Appreciation Society. Always good. Always good. It's always good when you're on TV to push your project or whatever, and your sister's getting all the press. She's opening up like never before. That's why Britney is trending. Okay, that's got to be rough. Reminds me of Bobcat Goldthwait's bit about the idea in Holy Blood, Holy Grail that Jesus had a brother and a sister. Ray Epps testified that he is not an informant working for the for the FBI under oath. You know, like that thing that everybody else is trying to avoid. Ray Epps, who is at the center of a right-wing conspiracy theory that FBI agents encouraged 1-6 riot. Again, look at all those fuckers. Look, somebody told us to. Hey, whoa. Hold on there, Spinach Chin. I never even saw these assholes before. Tell him, Henry. Tell him you don't know me. I do not think he'll listen, lad. Jan Pennell seeks to debunk unfounded theory about FBI rolling. Well, yeah, the fact that they have to clear this shit. And again, this is just noise. But, let's see. What we were talking about before, too, was 75% of, and that'll fucking bring up the whole shit. Next week, in post COVID loses 70% ability to affect when you're logged in at 40. Okay, there. Oh, yeah, right. If you've seen folks on the line declaring she revealed that 75% of all COVID deaths were people with at least 4 comorbidities, please know that is not the case. She was talking about vaccinated people. 36 people totally died of COVID, had 4 comorbidities. 75% of the 36 vaccinated people that died had 4 or more comorbidities. 75% of the vaccinated people, not the people in general who have died. This is just fucking dumb. But it's going to be the narrative. See, this is like, here's Paul Joseph Watson. He's on fucking, Alex Jones' show, or was for a while. Acknowledged that over 75% of COVID deaths were people who had least and were unwell to begin with. No. 75% of vaccinated people who died. The 0.003% of people who died of COVID who were vaccinated had 4 or more comorbidities. And by the way, here's Omicron's stuff in the South Africa and UK. 75% less ICU admission, largely because there's a bunch of people who catch it, get sick, get nervous, but they've been vaccinated, so they just go home. What is that? Oh, that's a costume. So it's somebody dressing as a tree. Let's see. Don Jr.'s moron tweet. Yeah, here it is. This dipshit. This is what's like. 75% of COVID deaths were in people with at least 4 comorbidities. That's it. That's the tweet. Yeah, so we'll handle that later. Yeah. By the way, Don Jr., if you want to drink your own pee, at this point, considering the other shit he puts in his body with great regularity, I think it's probably a step up. Hey, silly. Made it to a live show. Good for you. Welcome. How are you? Templeton Zalat is also here with us. You have to read it in his voice. Yeah. Guys, 75% of people with at least 4 comorbidities, according to the CDC, because he's a nonstop little bunny fuck you on either side of him. Yes, if you are being told the percentage, you are being lied to. If they do not give you the actual number, because in the actual number in this, the actual number is 27 people. Guys, what's up, Timmy? How are you? Yes, it is I, Hal Sparks, also known as Mr. Davenport, on Lab Rats. The only difference between me and Mr. Davenport is my luscious locks. I'm actually a genius. He's just one on TV, and his ego is pretend. Mine's for real. Just in case you were wondering. John Merrill's running for U.S. Senate in Kentucky primary May 17th. Good, minus on tick. Good, go at it, John. Go for it. I had more, I believe 75% of Trump rallies have more former COVID. Well, that's the problem they have. I'd sooner believe 75% of people at Trump rallies have 4 or more comorbidities. That's why the death rate is so high. Because these people are killing their own people. It's just sad. Oh, and then, somebody was posting this. Oh my God. Okay, let's check this out. So Kirsten W. Remember Kirsten W. The loony that used to show up on Roseanne's show, and she died of COVID. The current belief system amongst these folks is that she's in a rejuvenation chamber, being having her body rebuilt from scratch from stem cells or some shit, because they believe in these healing beds that are just magic, and they're gonna wait to release them. If you believe Kirsten W. died in California, as being said, ask yourself one question: how'd she get there? Because last I saw her, she was at her home in Florida, sick. And I don't know, they won't fly you if you're the tiny sick. She was presenting sick after Christmas. Whatever. Last post: almost died at a hospital in California from bacterial pneumonia. Yeah, she's done. And these assholes led her right to it. Because we looked at some of this shit. And she was running this whole, like, anti-vax everything, screaming at people who are getting vaccinated. Yeah. Yeah, she was on Patriot Street Fighter a lot, which is one of these stupid QAnon channels. Hospital protocols took your life too early, so they blame the hospital for killing her. Wow. Imagine being this wound up in your bullshit. So sad seeing Scott McKay react live on his show with Mike and Nino to the news of Christian Path. California hospital will be held accountable. Kirsten W. is fake or death. Truth. She's dead. You fuck up. I don't even like the woman. These guys are assholes. And still, I'm like, I don't want you guys to die because you're dumb. Fuck. The well-known broadcaster. Somebody was, where is it? Yeah, this is, by the way, this is what, what the LA hospital is saying, the equivalent of stating they want to kill her, calling primary things that cause COVID-19 to be dangerous. Oh, this is the same, like, actually, I think she was a CCP asset, if not agent, and went against her masters in the end, so they killed her. Interesting fact, her body seems to be missing. People close to her are scared and can't seem to get closure or find her body. If you have info, contact. Jesus Christ. Cuckoo. And this is how they handle it. I mean, they're just like, oh God. Yeah, here's this. She was on Roseanne's podcast with her. Look at the two of them. Look at the craziness. Gibbs on cleaning. Oh, thanks, Misty Q. Absolutely, for buying 666. Do we hit 666? That's awesome. We have 600. No surprise that right as we're talking about Kirsten and Roseanne, and she's wearing that mask, we hit 666 people in the chat room. So if you want to support the show, Super Chat or Venmo, $6.66, or an equivalent number of bits or something. I don't know how you would do it on the other things. Stars on Facebook, those kind of things. Hi, Facebook. How you guys doing over there with all the crazies? I mean, that's where most of her shit was posted. Oh, it was a terrible podcast, Billy. God, we went through it and long. Any more Bob Saget hauntings? No, I mean, I have to check in the garage because some of my old Playboys might be missing from the 90s. If they are, then I'm going to go with him. I'm going to think it's him. Thank you, Kristen. Appreciate that. And she's wearing a communist outfit. And maybe this was Halloween, or maybe they spliced these things together. What? Not dead, in trouble, in hiding. Oh boy. She's not dead. This is her in hiding. She's disguised as B. Arthur. What a clever disguise. I mean, can't you see it? She's disguised herself as Maud. Son of a bitch. What? I mean, you have to understand, these are the people who are in Dallas expecting John Jr. to show up. Looking true so far. Imagine that. Imagine somebody dies and it's just news. It's normal and all that stuff. And you're like, so far it seems like she's really dead. So far. Fucking hell. Just Looney Tunes. What happened to Kirsten W? Oh, it's not true. She became sick after her meet and greet in Virginia, was really sick for 4 days, still put out intel on her last vid. She said she was going to California, didn't know she went. I thought she was in the hospital in Florida. They killed her. Oh my God, fuck. They killed her. You mean the people at her fucking meet and greet? Good Lord. Kirsten W. looks like she's in hiding, and I cried for her. I've known for quite some time that Kirsten W. and Timothy Holzman were the ones who stole almost $1 million from Field McConnell and Guy Brummel's Children's Foundation. I did not know, however, that Kirsten was responsible for setting Field up in order to get him out of the way so that Timothy could take control of that money. Good Lord. The drama. Yeah, by they don't mean like the government. She was killed by her own followers and sycophants and supporters who showed up and coughed all over her. Jesus. Kirsten W. death. Investigation opened. GoFundMe.com. On new podcast on Spreaker. Oh, I see that. Jeez. Here's the investigation. She got COVID and she died because she wasn't vaccinated and she had comorbidities and she didn't take care of herself, and you guys let it happen. Oh, this is it. This is where they think she left. Helped set up Field McDonald's so Timothy also could steal $750 from a children's fund. Last video, deception everywhere. She's hiding out as Maud. They went this way. This guy is the guy who stole the money. Timothy also put what? Posing as truthers in the QAnon. The Children's Crusade and something by pedophiles and con artists posing as truthers in the QAnon community. Oh, so she faked her death. She's on the inside. That's anybody who dies is now like a an enemy of the movement, and they're faking their own death. Yeah, she's Maud. I just fucking love that. It's like that kind of beats out the whole John Jay dude who looks like, a weed dealer from 1982. Died after being denied ivermectin while on a ventilator. Which I doubt. Once you start tanking, they'll start shoveling whatever you want in you. All right. You're not going to make it because you're way past the line. Global sensation on their Kirsten Wild and cause of death and obituary news. Actress novelist has reportedly passed away January 6th. Top info? Uh-huh. This is clickbait. Doug Z, creator of Frog News Network, has passed away suddenly and into the arms of these folks aren't gonna. Now it's almost $1 million. By the way, it was just 5 tweets ago. It was $750,000. Hi, Kevin. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, give a thumbs up. We're just rolling through the trendage today and looking back on Kirsten W. Here's his long-term telling. According to Scott McKay's the dude from Patriot, fart sniffer or whatever that fucking network is. We did one clip on that a long time ago, but you can get like. The algorithm doesn't know if you're mocking or supporting this shit, so they tend to broom stuff even if you air it because it lets people know where to find it. I don't know what all the skating stuff is about. But yeesh. Uh-oh, McConnell's trending. Democrats are making stuff as seize control. Okay, hold on. Dems arguing about the impact of new state laws, fake hysteria so they can seize control of elections in all 50 states. Uh-huh. Meanwhile. I don't think of any reason why anyone needs to oppose the protection of the franchise of all Americans. Except me. Right. Brown told the truth what happened in 2020, and I agree with him. Yeah. Oh, I can't watch it. I can't even watch I don't want to see the dude's face because I want to do that interview this afternoon. Thank you. Nope. The GOP is dead. Oh, I think was it Patriot Takes? Were they doing those stuff on yeah, they were doing stuff. Unvaccinated QAnon supporter Kristen Weldon recently died of COVID. They believe Kobe Bryant was still alive and in witness protection to take down a network of evil people in sports, including LeBron James. Oh God, now I got to put my headphones in to hear what this shit was. I mean, we heard a good portion of this stuff. She's the one who she always had somebody inside the FBI or inside the CIA, NSA that was telling her all the real information, and she had on Wano Savin, and it would be her talking to his boots.
LeBron James, yeah.
I figured he had to be. I mean, he is just such a piece of work. I mean, it's a shame too because he's a very talented basketball player. I know for all the people that give a crap about that, but. Yeah, the dude's dirty as dirty gets. It's unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
Is he that good of a basketball player?
Well, some would argue. I mean,
yeah, they basically all those baskets he makes are CGI. I mean, how do we know he won those games? I mean, honestly, the stuff they can do. Oh, thanks, Daryl. Oh my God, thank you for making Humpdays easier, Alan the Sparklers. Thank you, Daryl. We'll get you through, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm on a mission to make sure you guys get through this stuff with as little anxiety, worry, and distress as possible, and keeping your smile on in a legitimate way. I'm not just gonna, blue sky and bullshit you. Optimism is realism. All right, now, I mean, obviously, again, if you think the world's gonna end, it might for you, not for everybody else. That happens, right? They're gonna destroy the whole world. Okay, locally. All of LeBron James' baskets were all CGI.
I've heard, again, I'm not a huge basketball fan, but some would argue that it's between him and Michael Jordan, and I don't know. I like Michael Jordan better. I just think he was a professional. I thought he was really gifted, but yeah.
He's not a child star.
Nobody thinks it's between them. It's Michael Jordan, Kobe, and then we'll see.
I wouldn't fall on that sword for anybody. That's for damn sure.
He's not a child trafficker.
Yeah, I hope not. Anyways, God, I would hate to find out that
You would hate to find out that you're a child trafficker? What?
And,
we've got a... Go ahead.
I think, according to the research on Kobe Bryant, during the crash, they said his body was burnt to a crisp. I doubt it. I think he's under witness protection.
Oh, you think so too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say everything about that crash.
Yeah, they went through all that shit just so that they killed his daughters and his friends and all this stuff, just so they could put him under witness protection, so that he could get deputized like Elvis and the DEA to go hunt child traffickers because of what the fuck?
Didn't add up. I mean, maybe they crashed something. I don't know. I mean, that's very possible. It's a super possible.
Yes, they did crash something, and by they, I would say the pilot and the weather as a team crashed a helicopter with fucking people in it, and human beings died, and their families mourned them and buried them. What is wrong with you assholes? Good Lord.
But yeah, it's just the pilot had done that flight many times. It was
yeah. Familiarity is part of the problem. Of course, this asshole, if you told him, most people die in car accidents within a mile of their home, he'd probably move.
Rude. I mean, yeah, it could have been foggy, big whoop, but the guy's done that flight a crap ton of times. I just don't believe that he slammed into the ground. I just don't believe that. Or at least intentionally. Now the plane could have been brought down. It could, who knows, or helicopter, I should say.
Yes, you should say helicopter.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I hope he's still alive though. He's under.
Yeah, he's not. Neither are you, dum. God damn, fuck.
Protection, so it's good. Yeah.
Do you think he was basically kind of telling on some of these other individuals in the professionals?
Yeah. He was going to spill the beans on the NBA sex trafficking stuff, and he was going to be the perfect witness because of the sexual assault charge he had to dodge back before. What the fuck?
And what they were doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus. Imagine that, and when you play around in that sandbox of moronic bullshit, yeah, Kirsten's dead, Mark. She's dead. And when you play around in that sandbox, of course your supporters are all going to be like, she's not really dead. She's gone. Yeah. Yeesh. Yeah, here she is. She was at the Capitol building. She got tear gassed because she was part of the padded movement that helped get everybody inside. I was innocent. All I did was facilitate the murderers and the people who were there to hang Mike Pence. Oy. That one's circulating around. Yeah, this was like one of her last videos, I guess. Oh, that's the gun thing. Seems like a bad idea. Yes, it does.
I'm sleeping a lot, and I'm very weak. Anyway, so no show tomorrow. The next day I'll have a show. Yes, it's been 4 days, going on 5. And hopefully I'll be good tomorrow. I'll have some appetite so I can I don't feel like the wind's going to blow me over. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. All right. So, a lot of things are happening. As I mentioned yesterday, so many Democrats are stepping down. I think there were 24. Yeah. A speedy recovery has taken 5 days. Fever, chills, sweat. Fever, chills, sweat. You think that would just happen once. No, it happened 5 days. Yeah. It's the flu, correct. It's the flu.
Oh, God. Yeah, she was a jerk, but this is sad to watch. Yeah, exactly. Jesus. And then, she thinks it's a flu for 5 fucking days. Ends up in the hospital. And she flies to California. God knows, by the way, flies to California, sick. Ends up, basically, as soon as she lands, ends up in the hospital.
Okay. Hope, Lord, please give me some appetite so I can eat. So I can have some strength. There you go. Yes, I've been doing that for 2 years. Thank you. But you're not supposed to mention that. Okay.
Mention what? Drinking her. Oh, I see. Look at this. She's been taking hydroxychloroquine for 2 years. Jesus.
Okay. Have a good day.
Jesus. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah. RSBN Patriot Takes knows this. RSBN, when Trump's doing his rally in a couple days, they leave this running so that if you're looking for it, theirs will be the first one in there because it's been sitting in the queue. They managed to run the whole thing. Nah, well, yeah, she did herself in by accident. It's just fucking gross. China believes it's found traces of water on the moon. Oh, is it Armstrong's sweat? Moon surface is completely dry, but in recent decades, scientists have found more and more evidence of it. Yeah, we've done this. They're confirming it. Yeah, and then Mitch McConnell again. Oh, and then a Golden Girls spinoff just dropped on what? The Golden Palace, 24 episodes dropped at once. It shares a theme song and 3 actresses. Oh, right. This was after B died, right? Yeah. That's on Hulu. That's beautiful. She's lovely. Murkowski's just getting name dropped because of McConnell. Yeah, because of the same shit. Let me see this. Another possible I know is talking to persuade 1 or 2 of the Republican senators to have shown in a threat and vote get on board with a filibuster carve out. I see. So they're trying to change the rules and they'll sign off on the rules. Yeah. There's only one possible plan to pass voting rights bills. Persuade all 50 Democrats to sidestep the filibuster. That's when Biden Democrat leaders have been trying. Any one Democrat holds the power to stop them. So far, they're using it. Perhaps the sole Senate Republican who will vote to begin debate again on John Lewis voting rights, because I happen to believe it is important as we focus on improving our election laws. Well, yeah, because she's going to get stomped by right-wing maggots. Because the one thing that will probably, this is my theory and I'm sticking to it, the one thing that will probably wake Republicans up to the threat about voting is the fact that they are attacking quote-unquote rhinos way harder than they are Democrats. And the primary rules and the voting rules, if they, if some conservative gets bounced out of their own party, tries to run as an independent, and then gets floored by the maggots that have been installed in the in the electoral process in a red state. Hey, JMC, that's a real fear that they have. That's a real concern that they might have, and maybe they'll wake up to it. And that's sort of what Murkowski and Romney and some of the others are doing. Oh, B didn't want to do the spinoff, and neither did Kirsten W. But she would have been so good. She looks just like her. Yeah, the extremists have really taken over the Republican Party, and that's what they're going to be. That's what they're going to be up against. And if any of the Republicans in the Senate especially wake up to it eventually, they're going to, it's one primary season where they're attacked from the right is going to bring a bunch of these people on board, because the senators are the ones who, these folks outlive politically a bunch of presidents most of the time. Presidents have, 4-year terms, 8-year term limit. Senators don't. Some of the states enforce them, but most don't, because why would you give up that power? And they get 6 years, so 2 terms, they're already in there a third longer than the president, no matter who it is. So, and they get to ride out most of the arcs of the political winds as well that protects them in a lot of ways. But there's the Murkowskis, Susan Collins, Romney, all those, they're facing a primary attack that could subvert the ability for their voters to vote. I mean, you could laser-like target, the hubs of their voters in conservative districts and focus largely on making sure that only maggots get to vote as best you can, and tilt the scales in a primary and then hand it over to them, and then do the same thing for the overall voters in the state, is the idea. And all these people are for this. If they had any guts at all, they would vote for it. They would come out for it. That's the problem. And, and in all fairness, they're getting death threats just for toying with the idea, much less going through with it. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyways, that's we'll see how it plays out. Like Marsha Blackburn. It's not a voting rights bill. It's a sweeping takeover of our democracy.
Has failed multiple times under multiple titles and in different packaging. This has gone on for the last 20 years. But this latest round has one thing in common with all the other drafts that found their rightful place in the trash can. It has nothing to do with protecting the ballot box. This is not a voting rights bill. It's a sweeping takeover of our democracy and a shocking attack on the
by voters, apparently, though.
Constitutional authority of the states to determine the time, place, and manner of elections. The election bill...
Yes, the ability of the states to determine how to limit voting machines in poor and minority areas and guarantee 12 working machines and concierge service in her neighborhood. Yeah. By the way, the majority of the laws that they're trying to pass don't pass constitutional muster themselves and will get thrown out or in court, or will not survive. It won't materially affect the vote as much as people think it will. Black people and black voters and voters of color are not stupid. They are not animals. They are not children. They are capable of recognizing the walls put up, limiting them, and they have always fought back against them. And in many ways, this invigorates that voting bloc more than almost anything else. Because it's so obvious that's what they're trying to do. Yeah, you get full spot treatment in her district. Death threats for first showing people, then punishing them for knowing about it. Nice to your rating, China. Much love, control people. What? I don't know what that means. It sounds like English, but I don't recognize the order of the words. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. Yeah, infantilizing or dehumanizing black voters as if like they're not going to be able to get IDs. Bullshit. Democrats are going to be able to get everybody the ID that they will need to push back against this stuff. And the we get to flip our electors because we don't like how it turned out bullshit. They can do that with their governor's race, their fucking mayors, their sheriffs, all they want to. But when they do it on a federal level, it won't pass muster. It'll get thrown out. Sorry. And if you want to have a little shitty fiefdom where you can pick your governor and whatnot, I got no say in that. If you want the voters to get the exact opposite of who they voted for governor, that's the price of living in Texas. But when it comes to the federal elections, the constitutional laws are very clear, and you can't just swap out electors because you don't like how it turned out. You got to prove it. You can't just go, never mind. Doesn't work that way. And if you try, we'll end up in some, it'll be a bunch of wailing and gnashing of teeth. It'll be 20 weeks of constitutional crisis, Bush v. Gore bullshit again. But no Democrat's going to back down from that fight ever again. Are you kidding me? After Bush's reaction to 9/11, do you think any Democrat who's running, who knows they're going to win a state, but this, the Supreme Court's trying to jockey in and get in there, isn't going to stand and go, no, I'm filing another case. We're going to take this to them. You can't stop a count. The count must finish. Nobody's going to fall for that shit. Sorry, Sparks, just bringing light to the new Eurasian empires used in solve fear. I see. As a mass blackmail tactic. Gotcha. Texas apparently is sending kids to out-of-state foster facilities. Well, hey, a broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah. The guy who shot up a synagogue influenced by Trump kept saying Soros-funded migration. Yeah, we've seen this storyline all over the place. And they act like, oh, it's nothing. It's just words. Right. Key component, Chrysler. A viral TikTok video of a driver through interaction with a customer. Huh? What is this?
The number?
I don't care you recording me on mom. I don't. You can show that to whoever you want.
I am. But can I have your name and number?
I should knock that out your hand on mom because you don't got consent. No, you're not getting my name. Now show them that.
I will show them that.
You think I give a fuck about this job? No, I don't on mom. Now get out my drive. You holding on my line. Bye. Bye. Go. You mad?
And by the way, is she riding a tractor or a lawnmower?
It's 597.
You the one mad.
597.
You the one mad.
You mad.
I ain't mad.
If I knock your phone out your hand, you gonna call the police.
I sure am.
I know. Now pull off.
That's not the way you talk to people.
Pull off. Is you finna pay?
Then call the police then.
Fuck I'm calling the police for? I ain't no snitch ass nigga, so fuck I'm finna call the police for.
Then what do you...
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, we crossed a language line on my show that I don't like to cross, so never mind. I can't... That's why you can't air TikTok videos and stuff. I want to... I wish this was... Why was this not on camera? Committee has interviewed Epps. Epps informed us that he was not employed by, working with, or acting in direction of any law enforcement agency on January 5th, 6th, or any other time, that he has never been an informant for the FBI or any law enforcement agency. Aware of unsupported claims that Ray Epps was an FBI informant based on the fact that he was in an FBI wanted list and then was removed from that list without being charged. You know, they want some people that just because you're wanted doesn't mean you're convicted, right? Doesn't mean you're automatically guilty. I know Republicans would like it that way. They would like that the minute you're put on the FBI's most wanted list, that you're definitely guilty. And you just forget about it. It's just automated justice. But well, I'll dive into this today as well because this keeps coming up. Fucking Ted Cruz. I think was it on Hannity or Tucker when he brought up what about this Ray Epps guy when they were both like when he was trying to fix himself, you know, and recover from his terrorism line. There you go. I mean, a little bit of water, bunch of stone, you got cement, you got buildings, you got landing pads, you got takeoff pads, you can make materials, you can make hydrogen. I mean, there's not enough. That's why we got to lasso one of these big ice comets. I can circle that thing around. Don't let it hit the earth because we got enough water. We do. There's all these people. There you go. And so I brought up this thing with the this Axios thing. Hit 7% highest since 1982 consumer price index. Look how small the year over year is. Look at this type. Look at this. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. All items. Year over year. And then down here, rose 0.5%. Even excluding volatile energy and food, those numbers were 0.6% and 5.5%. Because look how could you take something out and the percentage goes up 0.1%? Well, because it's a percentage. Without the comparative number, they're bullshitting you. Come on, Al, there's nothing on the moon. That's why we haven't gone back. There's too much on the moon. The other side is a UFO base, right? And they're all living there, and they told us not to, come back. Thought that was the story currently. Yeah, this is the him talking about
the FBI is Mr. Epps an agent of the FBI? Is an informant of the?
No, he is not. He has testified under oath that he is not. Now, tell Jim Jordan and Sean Hannity and all these other fuck-ups to stop fighting subpoena and go testify under oath like this Epps dude did. He's got the chutzpah to sit down in front of the committee under oath and testify, and you guys don't. Who am I going to take seriously? Because if that dude lies under oath and they find out he was, and there's got to be receipts someplace, it is the federal government after all, and they have a reason for wanting, to know this information. They have oversight. They can find out. This guy can sit there under oath, answer questions, and Jim Jordan, Jim Banks, Ted with his coordinating with Gosar, MTG can't. They're all too scared. Jesus. Just so lame. So no. They are not. Oh, somebody's referencing a story about. Oh, right. Put 300 million in jail for election. Yeah, he said this before. We've seen this a bunch of times. This is enough evidence for everybody to go to jail. and I don't. I think this is a brain fart. I think he means for like 300 million people to stand up and say put him in jail. But we've seen this, that everybody's in on it. Like this is part of it. Lindell's remarks on Real America's Voice were first reported by Right Wing Watch. Excuse me, they most certainly were not Raw Story or Right Wing Watch. Motherfucker, I went through all this shit last year and the year before. I'm the one who went all the way through all of his specials, his stupid docu-movies. I did that. Everything you're going to see over the next 7 months to get rid of the voting machine. You're going to see the Supreme Court case coming out, all these great things. Everybody. Oh, God. This is stupid. Do they have... Okay, this is the clip. This is him on... This This is that event he was at the other day.
Everything you're going to see over these next 7 months to get rid of the machines. You're going to see the Supreme Court case coming out. All these great things, everybody. By the way, you can find more at frankspeech.com. I'll put that out there. There are so many. I'm more optimistic today than I have been yesterday, the day before that. I'm on an incline like this. Why? Because it's so amazing. All the things that we already have all the pieces of the puzzle. And you talk about evidence. We had enough evidence to put everybody in prison for life, 300 and some million people. We had that all the way back to November, December. But what we have are these other things that had to happen.
Yes. So let me get this straight. I mean, we know it's gibberish, and there's no Supreme Court case he's bringing. None of it. It's not going to fucking happen. We've got all the puzzle pieces. We just can't figure out every time I put them in order, it says, fuck you, Trump lost. We've got all the puzzle pieces, and no matter how many times I assemble the puzzle, it gives me the finger and tells me that I'm a dum-dum. So, and that 300 some million people need to go to prison for life. Dude, there weren't even that many fucking voters. What, are we going to throw their kids in jail?
Which was all evil revealing itself. I mean, evil's popping up like pocket gophers. I mean, they pop their heads up, it's whack-a-mole.
Again, the fuck is pocket gopher? Seriously, that's like, isn't that fondling your dick through your pocket? Hold on. Is there a thing called a pocket? Did Ronco put out a pocket gopher? Oh, the actual live, real pocket gophers. He doesn't mean that euphemistically. He means actual pocket gophers. Which are... Here they are. Pocket gophers. They're just popping up like all over the place. Like pocket gophers. Fossorial rodents named for their fur-lined cheek pouches. Not for where they hide, but they pocket stuff like gerbils. Their cheek pouches or pockets are used for transporting bits of plant food they gather while foraging underground. They have special adaptations to their burrowing lifestyle. They're adorable. That's what it is. The plains pocket over there in the Great Plains region. Several of the species are found in the west and southeast. Loose sandy soil with edible plant cover is the best habitat for pocket gophers. That's good to know. Also, if you have a boner and you put your hand in your pocket and no one knows you're touching yourself, pocket gopher. Yes. He's playing pocket gopher.
Right? I mean, it's everywhere. And that all had to be revealed.
Is that woman just going, wait a minute, did you just say arrest 300 million people?
So that we can fix it.
There is a bit of, I don't know who this lady is, but there is a bit of like, you're a crazy person. And then he says, we throw him in jail so we can fix it. And watch her look down at them. Like, Yes, the current population of the U.S. is 332 million. Oh, God. Okay, that's him. That's the alleged call of that thing. Binge Jesus. Skip the ad. TheChosenGifts.com. Wait a minute. That's John F. Kennedy Jr. Come on. I mean, we have to watch the ad. Don't we? Don't we have to watch it? Binge Jesus? Oh, hold on. Turn on the audio.
Launching right now in the store. I mean, I'm telling you, it doesn't do it justice on camera, but like, I'm just going to randomly.
Yeah, I'm not going to look at Jesus centerfolds. I'm going to get in more trouble than when I aired the TikTok thing. Also, check your vitamin B. You got that weird eye vein. Angry dude. Well, don't oppose it then. Boo, fuckity who. Here's what triggered Trump to bail in the NPR. I'm not going to watch it. Team Trump whines about Dems celebrating Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter ban. Well, it is funny. I mean, she's still got a fucking account. They're responding to her Twitter ban the same way that that like people are calling the testing mandate a vaccine mandate. She's still got an account. They shut down her personal one. She still got her public one so far. I mean, she might have lost it in the next, in the last couple of hours for all I know. Oh, we're over time. It's already 11 o'clock. God, you guys, this is just zips by. You guys are wonderful. These are nice hangs. To show, thank you for gifting the subs. TOH Show Live. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Bless you for doing that. That's really cool. Shadow Woman, thank you so much. Jay and Stark Al, also thank you for doing that. That's really awesome. Mike, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Don't forget, like and subscribe. You have a thumbs up, subscribe to the show, or the clips, or the things. And also, you can just pass around the clips of the show that CSL so lovingly slices up for us. And so we can kind of spread, for the people who aren't all in. And we'll get there. Yes, I will see you guys this afternoon at 3 o'clock, because I got, you know how much news I have to avoid today so that I don't get my laugh on well before? Thank you, Crystal. Oh, Chip, hold on. All right, well, let me see if I can find Chip. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourself. Hold on. Do I have a, I can do, and I don't, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Do I have, I need like a placeholder of me when I go, hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can go find Chip for you.
There he is. Here he is. The man of the hour. Chipper. Little Chipper.
He was sleeping. He's exhausted. Little Chipper. Little Chipper boy. There he is.
Yay. Chipper. Little Chipper.
He's purring. How you make a simple graphic of a bookmark on a screen to hold your place in our house? I should do that. That's what I was thinking. There's two things I need to do is make that 5-egg screen and then a graphic of, I'll be right back, a BRB, a floating BRB thing. Yeah. He's a sleepy boy. He's growing. Yeah. Hi, buddy. Yeah. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the show, making it possible. This is my NPR moment, or NPR moment later. What do you see over there? What's over there, buddy? Did somebody go to the litter box? The litter box is around the corner over there, so. Yeah, no, he's not a kitten anymore. He's a cat. But he's still, he's still got the brains of a kitten. Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah. He's a good boy. There you are. Yeah, he's good. He's a great cat. He's lovely. You want to go attack something? Did I wake you up and now you got to go party? There you go. Oh, no, he just wants to lay here. He's like, No, he has a goatee. He does not have a Hitler stash, but he does have the haircut. So we try. He almost got squashed in the fridge door last night because he, you're getting in the fridge and then he wants to look around and you can't see him because he's below your feet. And you're like, you go to close the door and you're like, whoa, almost squished him. How do I feel about declawing a cat? I would never do that. Yeah. If you want a cat, you have a cat. Don't have a fucking gerbil that looks like a cat. Claws are part of it. Yeah, we love Chud too. Hi, buddy. Yeah, he's just falling asleep on my lap, and I'm gonna be stuck here. There you go. So, yeah, loved Chud. We'll bring her down. She came down yesterday while I was setting up. And was like, ow. She doesn't meow very much. She very rarely meows, and he's got a little like scratchy meow. He hasn't quite figured it out. But occasionally, if he gets into stress or something, he'll full meow. Like we had to wash him because he's poopy and disgusting. And most of the time he'll go like meow, 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 like little tiny one. And then he like in the tub when I was washing him, he was like meow, meow, meow. I will say that he didn't freak out that much. He was just like, what's happening, meow? It wasn't total panic, which is nice. He's tougher than that. Who clips a cat's claws? Yeah. I mean, you can cut them so that they don't, yank them out if they get caught on stuff. Because sometimes if they don't, house cats sometimes don't know how to use a scratching post quite as well. Some of them are better at it than others. So you can clip their nails, just the tips, so that they don't snag it on something and then yank their nail out, which happens. So they take a little, cats need maintenance. Molly's really hard to do that because she's she's skittish. So it's very hard to clip her nails. I humiliated his cat feelings. I'm sorry. Did I, buddy? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. You little buddy. Little guy. Hi. Mm-hmm. Hello. You're such a good little man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Hop down. You want to hop down? You can do that. All right. Now he's going to go find a piece of like a cable tie or something and bat it around the floor for an hour. So anyways, I'll let you guys go and I will see you guys this afternoon. I would never do that, Foggy. I would never. So yeah, we just trim the back ones. We do the front ones on some of the cats too, because they'll like claw into the comforter or something and then they can't get their paw off of it because it's too sharp and too long. Zerbert kisses. I do that a lot. I do. I pretend to eat him. He enjoys it. He's enjoyed it so far. He's my cat. He definitely became my cat. It's one thing to have, like, we've got a bunch of cats and they all love us, but Chip is, now he goes to Summer first for pets in the morning, which makes me a little bit jealous on occasion. I don't understand it. But there you go. I'll deal. Just learn to deal. Best for last. That's what I say. Yes, tipping is fine. Anyway, so thank you for your support, your love, and your eyeballs, and your time. And I appreciate you guys joining me here. I will see you this afternoon for a little bit of backed up Greg Kelly. We'll do the NPR interview. There's so much. There's never enough time. Like, I could do an 8-hour show every day. I seriously could. I'm just not going to do that to CSL or myself. I have other things I want to do in my life. But we have to, and I think this is the important thing. If besides being a happy, joy, fun place to hang out, one of the things that I like doing on the show is confronting the lies that those guys put out head on. Because some people, I think, get a little nervous. Like, what if they're right? Which is okay. It's an okay feeling to have. And you're not, and no side is going to be right about everything all the fucking time. It's just not going to happen. So, and some people are like, what if I find out I'm wrong about this? Well, then you find out you're wrong and you adjust your position. It doesn't change your ethics about it. You can agree that there's a problem with somebody, but differ on the solution. That's that's democracy. But we've gotten away from that because it's the issue in a lot of ways is people pretending that, you know, either one side or the other denying that a problem exists, or saying that the actual problem is your solution. And we got to get past that. We got to stare what they effectively the case they're making and their accusations and their bullshit straight in the face, and don't worry about it. I'll just handle it head on. Yeah. And I have no worry about it. None. As you've seen. So we will continue to have a great time with each other. And I will see you guys this afternoon. Okay. And I almost forgot my exit music. I got to start. Yeah. There we go. Start putting that in there. Just to ease our way out, man. And it is hump day. Some folks, you're halfway through your week. For me, in many ways, I'm getting into the zone where when I'm touring again, I will be. This is sort of my Monday in some ways. Wednesdays and Thursdays can be my Monday when I'm doing stand-up because I work all weekend long, both shows, you know, and radio show and that kind of stuff. And it stacks up, you know, and my day off in those situations when I'm traveling usually happens on a Monday or a Tuesday. And I will be, you know, once I get on the road and I'm really swinging for the fences again, doing stand-up, you know, I'm gonna have to monitor my own burnout and make sure that I'm, you know, relaxing and reading and finding time for friends and family and all that kind of stuff in the midst of it, because I want to keep doing the show as we do it, as other stuff, you know, as I continue to do other things. So, cat hair in my whiskers. So that, you know, that's, if today is the middle of your week and you're headed towards the weekend, good for you. Glad to help you get over the hump. And I will see you this afternoon. Take care of yourself. Take care of somebody else. All right. Bye. See you. Sorry. Here. You found a cap or something. Send it around. I don't know if you can hear it with the music on. Clack, 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 clack.